Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I'm bringing you some ATCs, and it's hosted by Thelisha of We're Baking and Crafting Meet. She has an event called Everyday ATCs, and it's actually running, it started from May 29th and it's through December the 25th of this year. And pretty much every day you can make an ATC, you can swap, you don't have to swap, or it's just getting you to get into the creative mode. So I'm going to make 3 ATCs, and I decided I like to make my own ephemera. So I brought out some stamps, and I'm using various stamps from like Dollar Tree, Temu, and just wherever. And I'm using some CSV Art Gallery watercolor paint, as well as some Kingart Pearlescent watercolor paint. And then I'll also be using some Faber Castell watercolor markers, and I'll be doing a lot of fussy cutting and die cutting and things like that, because when I craft I have no idea what I'm going to make, so I just kind of just go with the flow. But I like to have my ephemera already ready. I like to have multiple choices, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I like to have different sizes and shapes and images and things like that. So here I am, just idling up some of my stamped images and stuff, and I'm using the Faber Castell watercolor markers across some of the images of the like the sunflower and the bees and stuff like that. So I have a stamp and die cut set that I'd gotten off Temu. So I'm just stamping some images and cutting them out, and I'm doing that on different color pages and papers. And here I got this book page. It's from an old book, and you know how those papers are kind of weak. So I decided to paste them together, and I'm gonna do some stamping on it. And then I also found like a little scrapbook paper or scrap paper, and so I'm just gonna do some stamped images, and I'm gonna die cut those out. And some of the stuff I'm using, some of the stuff I'm not going to use on the ATCs, but like I said, I like to have choices. So, and I like to make my own, so I'm just stamping and dyeing and fussy cutting and die cutting and all that to have. So, and I actually liked how those turned out, the butterflies and the circles and those images, even though I didn't use them on my ATCs, because the ATCs are only like 2.5 by 3.5, and they were a little bit too big for what I was looking for, but they're still good to use in other projects. So typically whenever I'm making my ephemera, I make a lot. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I go overboard. And I'd also die cut some other like leaves and flowers and stuff like that from some of my dies that I gotten from Craspire. And if you look over to the left top corner, you'll see some of the different dies and stuff that I used. And then I also wanted to emboss, and I'm using just a few various embossing folders. Those are like 3D texture fades, impressions, and so one of them, which one was that? Folk art pattern, and then the other one was the Holtz typewriter, and then the other two were those little mini I think they're from Darice. They were like the honeycomb. I can't remember. I've had those for several years. But here I'm making my ATCs, and so I cut them out to size 2.5 by 3.5, and then I cut some other papers different sizes. And whenever I'm making ATCs, I always put my information on the back of the cards. So that's what those are. And I created that little ATC thing in Photoshop years ago when I was I was in a lot of different groups, but I had to kind of slow my roll because it was just too overwhelming. But yeah, I glued those to the back of the cards, and then now we're getting ready to start building them up. So I'm probably just going to put some music on and just let you guys watch as I get started. So this is pretty much it, guys. We have our first ATC, and I love that little can with the flowers and stuff. And you've got your information on the back. And then I decided to use the sunflower and then added some other little gems and things in the middle. And I included some of the embossed images and stuff like that. So we have that one. And then here's our last one with our little bird cage and stamped notes and die cut grass and fussy cut out butterfly. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please check out my channel, subscribe, and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.